Hello, this is Katie Ethington with Business 383. For this class, I'd just like to go over my individual presentation for my potential business here. So this will be concerning my reusable bag kits. So with this one, the value behind this is obviously we live in a society that's built off of convenience, and that creates a lot of very harmful waste, both for the environment and for our society. So the thing is, when convenience is so important, it can be really difficult to find ways to reduce this waste. So this is where my kits are going to come in to kind of solve this. The idea is that we will start by making kits and selling them online through places like Etsy, Pinterest, things like that, and through a website, and then slowly build so that we can make partnerships with some farmers markets and with local grocery stores to allow people the convenience to have these types of bags available so they do not have to use the harmful plastic ones. Now, my minimum viable product here will be one large bag that will be made of very heavy duty materials, able to carry very heavy things with a long strap that can go over your shoulder. Then there will be three smaller bags that can fit into this bag. They're just going to be kind of very good quality but lighter weight. There's also going to be a set of drawstring produce bags. There's going to be 6 in each kit. And then a zippered bag with a handle for meat, just so that it's separate and you don't have any cross-contamination. As for the market size, globally, it is estimated that about 500 billion plastic bags are used and disposed of worldwide. Now, obviously, we can't replace every single one. However, as we build into a community, then we're going to have more options. So, for example, I personally am in Utah County, where there's an estimated about 200,000 households. And each of these homes, there's someone who's buying groceries, who's going to the stores, and they're walking away with all this plastic. So my goal is to slowly build out to kind of start to encompass Utah County and have more opportunities for them to use reusable bags. As for my customer segment, my main customer segment I found from my interviews are going to be adults between the ages of 20 and 45 who are seeking ways to reduce their environmental impact. The next one, and this will be as the company grows, is I'm going to be working with some potential partners who work at farmers markets, and I'm going to be selling my bags through their produce stands. The last thing I'm wanting to do, and it's going to be like the last main step before the company really starts to grow, would be to work directly with some local grocery stores and have my bags be replacements to the plastic bags they're currently buying. And as for my customer relationships, obviously, since I'm starting small and starting online, we're going to be doing Google AdWords, using Pinterest, Facebooks, and then, starting to work on local deals as we grow bigger so that people can purchase the bags for a good price through their store. I plan on, once I've had enough growth here, to have discounts for people who are wanting to buy replacement bags, people who are wanting to maybe increase the size of their bag collection, like if they have a larger family. Obviously, they're going to need more bags than others. As for growing, my main source of growth will be to move geographically out from one store and hopefully start building into more stores and more markets and having my growth come from there. Now, as for the distribution channel, the main one, instead when I start, will be going through Etsy, which has proven to be a good option for small businesses. The second channel will be once we start going through farmers markets, fruit stands, stores, and basically giving my bags a more physical presence, which I believe will help the growth tremendously. As for my key partners, I have quite a few very good ones I'm excited to be working with. One of them would be my very good friend Debbie Heitzman. She has her own business that she bases off of sewing. It's more for upholstery. However, with her, I'm going to be able to purchase my fabric for better deals and definitely work there. Also, there are some bloggers that I've been contacting who I believe would be very excited to purchase my bags and show them on their site and kind of build some more publicity there. And I also have some friends who work in the farmers markets who've also been interested in adding this just because it gives our stand a little extra pizzazz. Um, as for my key activities for myself, there's two main things that I have to do. There's obviously quite a few other things besides these, but these are the two main things I'd be focusing on. One would be manufacturing the kits. So obviously this is going to be a very important process because I'll have to get get the materials, cut them, sew them, package them, getting them ready to go. Obviously, the more time I have on this, the better practice I'll be and the more efficient I can be. As for the second thing is going to be simply getting the word out about these kits and getting people to know that these bags exist and know what the plan is so that there's going to be a greater chance of having a higher customer basis there. As for my costs, um, I don't have a ton of fixed costs because all I'm really basically doing is paying a salary for myself and then a little bit of electricity. Um, as for my variable costs, I was able to work, as I said, through my partner, Debbie Heitzman, so I'd be paying about $9 for the fabric, $3 for the nylon, then obviously thread, $2. Thread's not super expensive, so that's good. And then about $3 per item for me, just to kind of pay my own salary here. And I do believe that if I'm able to sell enough bags, that this could definitely be a very profitable business, especially once we get in touch with stores. For the revenue, the main source will just be selling the bags, and the revenue will just come from those sales of the bags there. Right now, I'm planning on selling each of my kits for about $20. So then, sorry, excuse me. Yeah, so with this one, I'm planning on spending about 20 on selling each kit for about $20. So as I said, that's gonna be the big bag, the three smaller ones, the produce bags, and then the meat bag. As for my metrics here, my number one concern is um, finding the best way to grow my business once I start moving outside of Etsy, being able to find a good balance when I start working with more of a store where they're going to need a lot of bags there. Operating cost is obviously very important because I plan on only making my bags out of ethically sourced materials, and that can obviously cut into some of my profit margins. However, I believe it's extraordinarily important to not reduce my costs and then just cause lots of problems for someone else. My revenue streams, I'd say the biggest thing here is I'm pretty comfortable with where I am as for selling individual kits. Once again, once the growth happens, that's where more of these, more the negotiation will happen there. So there's obviously quite a bit of variability as to what will happen once we move into stores. With the customers, I believe that the people who I'm going to be working with are going to be people who want to be more environmentally friendly. However, they struggle finding a way. So I plan on trying to keep a very good, solid relationship with these people, letting them know exactly where my bags come from, exactly how they're made, so that they know that I'm not lying to them about the environmental footprint that they're leaving. With the burn rate portion here, if I'm more ambitious and try to grow really fast, the burn rate will be very crucial to determine how large and fast I can grow. However, I do plan on starting very slow and then moving up from there. I believe it's going to be a better opportunity for this business. Main insight I conducted quite a few interviews here, and the main thing I found is that most people want to be more environmentally friendly. However, the convenience is the hardest thing. So for example, just how do I get all of my bags in? If I go to the store, I can just get plastic for free, but they still want another option. So that's why I believe that my kits will be helpful because they are able to take care of all of your groceries, or even if you split them up, you can use them for shopping at other stores as well. They're easily folded into a nice, very easy to carry pouch that you can just take in the cab of your car or put it in your purse if you have that. With this one, it's obviously not going to be a downhill slope. It will be an uphill battle just because we are fighting against something that's free, but it's also something that's plastic and is harmful. Um, as for the business environment, right now, bags are being sold at a lot of places. However, they're not really marketed that much, and it's not very aggressive. And that's something I plan on changing. I think that this is something that people do need to be aggressive about. Because if you're not aggressive and you're working very passively, no real change is going to happen, and real change needs to happen. So I intend to try and mix that up and increase both my own productivity and also hopefully increase those of my competitors. The main strength that we have here is I have very good key partners who I have through my own personal experience, who I believe will be very helpful as we're getting this company off the ground. Um, as for an opportunity, I'd say right now is there's so many people who are shopping, and there's so many plastic bags that we could easily replace. So once I'm able to grow, especially getting into the larger channels with the stores, then I'm going to have a very wide array of customers to work with. My weakness here is I wish that the margins on my bag were higher. However, unfortunately, it's not. And that's just because, as I said, I don't intend on cutting any costs on the type of materials I am making. The last thing here is obviously the main threat, and this is something that I've talked about a lot in my interviews, is it's a really easy thing for someone to return to using plastic just because of the extreme convenience they offer. So that's going to be the main threat and the main thing that we need to work on when it comes to dealing with our customer relations. Now, my largest pivot is when I first started this, is I was planning that this was just going to be very simple, running straight out of my home, not a full-time job. However, the more I looked into it, the more I realized it'd be much different if you were working through a store, and a store that instead of providing plastic just for free and just who cares about what happens to them, is to more, let's make a change at that vital level. So instead of just getting a very small group of people who really care, as for getting more people who care but who still want convenience. And we can do that by working with stores. Obviously, it's not something that I can do right away. However, it is something that I'm very excited as for pushing for, because I believe that's going to make the largest impact. So that is my case here. So thank you so much for listening, and have a good day.